Hello, off the road, and welcome to Maza Bitcoin. Today we will discuss this virus business and whether it is fictitious. I mean, we know it's real, yeah, but is it oh wait, we're having a special guest tonight, and it is not Wolfman Bruza. It is other. Come. Oh look, it is little tuk-tuk. Hello, little tuk-tuk. Say hi and take a bow to the people. Show us your tail, little tuk-tuk. Don't be shy. So today, the Bitcoin price is roughly 9,300 US dollars. Yes, I never write down anything. When I make these videos, I pride myself on just winging it. Unfortunately, when you wing it, when you just make a video and you go by memory and by your study, oftentimes you forget certain specific things you want to say. So I made a video today, and there are a few points, very important points that I would like to make. That being, I hope you're enjoying the Vietnamese music in the background. One of the things I'd like to say is the coronavirus and whether that's going to affect the Bitcoin price. The Taiwanese stock market opened up after Chinese New Year, and it went down, and the Bitcoin price remained up. But I really don't think the coronavirus has anything to do with the price of Bitcoin. Although, if you go into YouTube and other platforms, you'll hear otherwise. Many people believe that the coronavirus will affect the Bitcoin price in a positive way. I don't believe so. I mean, but it can, because people, when they hear a rumor and they hear these things, and it spreads, and then more and more people believe it, and it's a self-fulfilling falsity that becomes truth because people hear it and they act on it, perhaps, and buy Bitcoin. Perhaps. I don't think that the coronavirus has anything to do with the price of Bitcoin, and I don't think that it will. And I think if you let a month pass, it's just like when Bitcoin hits a fervor, a high price, and then everyone's talking about it in the media. Well, then give it some time and you'll forget about it, just like all the other viruses. The news in the world loves to have things to worry about. They love to talk about things. Why? Because they're a business, and they want you to watch the news, and they want to sell more newspapers, and they want people to worry and feel that they're necessary, just like any business. So this is Tuk Tuk. That's his nickname, Tuk Tuk. But he's a mixture of sumomo and stinker buns. So he's sumo buns, but Tuk Tuk is fine. Tuk Tuk's a very good travel mate. He doesn't take up much space. I found him on the roadside. He was garbage. I haven't seen many snakes, dead snakes on this trip, but I have seen many rats, of course, or the skeletal remains of a rat or other animals, and found him one day, and it's a nice, hello. It's a nice surprise to see him. So what I want to say about Bitcoin. Sorry. The first puff is something slightly more natural. I don't actually smoke cigarettes. I just do it when I make a video once in a while, and it keeps me warm. It's cooler in the mountains, in the Vietnamese mountains, and gives you something to do. So I'm roughly 330 kilometers away from Cambodia, as they say in Vietnamese, Cambodia, and had a great ride today. So what are the things I'd like to mention about Bitcoin? The hash rate, which means the computer's looking every 10 minutes to win the reward, to fill out the ledger of the transactions in the last 10 minutes. That speed of which the ASICs computers can find the next nonce, it's called a nonce, which gives them the right to fill out the next page of the ledger and be rewarded with 12.5 Bitcoins. As I've mentioned in many videos, that reward will drop to 6.25 Bitcoins in 2020. Was supposed to be in May, but because the amount of computers, ASICs computers looking for the next nonce has drastically increased, which means governments are joining in. Not many admit it, but some. And when governments begin to admit it, and they start trying to use Bitcoin as the default reserve currency in their coffers, well, then many other governments will too. So Bitcoin at any given time can suddenly go to an unbelievably high number. And although I think this will happen, when, I don't know. So things to mention. So this hashing rate, because the hashing rate is so high now, you've got a situation where every 210 blocks in the blockchain, after every 210,000 blocks, they cut the reward in half. So this was scheduled for mid-May in 2020, but has now been rescheduled. The approximate time frame for it is now late April, and this is because the computing power looking for the next nonce has grown.